Right on. Well, Mr. SpawnHunter himself, Ty, thanks for joining, man. Can't wait to have a conversation. We got a lot to cover, man. A lot has happened Spawn world over the last like month and a half, man, between SpawnCon, all the
Yes.
news from New York Comic Con with like 10 titles coming out with over the next year and a half. We just saw a new figure, a new Spawn figure that I don't know if it's coming in January. Maybe you could help us with that. But man, there's some cool stuff happening, man, and I'm really excited to talk to you, Ty.
Always a pleasure talking to you, Tommy, about Spawn stuff, about anything like that.
Yeah,
It's always a pleasure. Your last podcast with Todd McFarlane was what a hit. I don't
awesome.
know, you know the numbers better than I do, but everybody was like hitting me up and saying, "Did you know that there was a shout out for you from Tommy from War at Comics?" I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome." So it was the talk of the town last week. The team members from SpawnCon, all of us, the guys who ran the show, listened to your podcast, and
Love it.
we've dissected that interview so that we can plan SpawnCon year 2.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to be super respectful to all the hard work that you had. But I wanted to know where he was at in all this because I know our conversations about your conversation with Todd and team, right? Because there's a lot of legality that had to take place in order to utilize the Spawn image and all that. And
Mhm.
Todd was all for it, man. But I loved his comment. He said at the end, he said, look, man, if we're going to move forward with this thing, which we are, I think you guys already are planning SpawnCon too. If we're going to move forward, man, he goes, I need to get more involved. And I think that would be like the icing on the cake, man, to have Todd McFarlane at a SpawnCon. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I think that'd be amazing, man.
It's a great point of view that you bring up, and that's something that has defined us as a management team for this convention, and
Yeah.
has defined how we were able to pull off year 1
Yeah,
in a very successful way,
for
and
sure.
that what we can take from those lessons learned
Yeah.
into year 2, and where does Todd come into the mix.
Yeah.
So absolutely, number one, nothing but respect for the creator, Todd McFarlane, nothing but
Absolutely.
respect for his IP
Yeah.
and his baby Spawn that has built the McFarlane house. So basing on those pillars, we're building upon even more of the branches of the Spawn,
Yeah.
uh, if you may call it the Spawn bubble, right?
Yeah.
Where we have the movie stuff, we have the action figures, we have the comics, we
Yeah.
have the artists and on the multiple titles that are
Yeah.
coming out. So we as SpawnCon, we are maybe just another little branch out of this whole entire bubble,
Yeah.
and we operate under the guidance of McFarlane Productions because we respect the license. We are
Absolutely.
working with the license, and we go under those terms together.
Yeah.
So to go back to your question about like where does year 2 lead to with Todd, and I think as I was talking to the team, the guys who organized this convention, is that we can still grow within year 2. You
Yeah.
know, look what we did with year 1 without Todd being
Yeah.
directly involved, and
Yeah.
we created almost a show just for fans, for
Yeah.
Spawn fans and Spawn artists. The Spawn artists were so happy. They were telling me, Ty, I get to talk about Spawn all day. This is awesome. I'm
That's
like,
so
I
cool.
know, right? So we created that. So we
Yeah.
can still continue to bring you that. We
Yeah.
can still bring you that day where you
Yeah.
can just fly in,
Yeah.
drive in, and just spawn out yourself. Right? Now, Todd, he's observing from far away. He's
Yeah.
just taking, keeping tabs, and he knows we pulled it off. A successful year.
Yeah.
Maybe year 2, we grow up a little bigger, more artists. We
Yeah.
have we have such a list of artists that we want to bring back from year 2,
Yeah.
and then maybe for year 3, where like we're more established.
Yeah.
It's a name that people respect. It's a name that people can count on because they know they can spawn out. Then maybe Todd will be like, hey guys, what are you doing? Why don't I stop by for a little bit? I'm like, Todd, you're more than welcome.
Yeah.
We'll pull out the red carpet for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's You are the chairman of the board for this whenever you're
Yeah.
ready. So that's
Yeah.
how we're looking at it year 2. We're continue to be motivated. we
Yeah.
have a lot to bring to year 2 for the fans.
Yeah.
And if whenever Todd's ready to come on board, and I know at some point he will, he's got a chair ready for him.
Yeah, yeah. That's so exciting, Ty, man. I was trying to make it so bad, man. And yeah, it just didn't work out. But I definitely have to be here too, man. All the pictures, like the whole 2 days, I'm following on Facebook. There was a SpawnCon like chat. And I'm just seeing all the pictures being uploaded, and then all the amazing artists. Thomas Healy, man, I saw the picture with you and him, and oh man, I was just so jealous, bro. Just seeing all of that, man. I wish I was there, and everyone said it was amazing. And even I was talking to Tom. I always get his last name wrong. The letterer for Spawn for the last 30
Oh,
years.
we just call him Tom O.
Tom O, exactly. Yeah. So I was going back and forth with Tom O on Facebook because he'll be coming on the podcast too. And I can't wait to talk to a legend like that that's been doing this for 30 years, man. But he said it was so amazing, Ty. He just kept talking about how much he enjoyed it. Oh, it was awesome, man.
Tom O, he's sitting on his chair, he's working, and everybody's going up to him, and either he's signing or he's doing some covers and all this stuff. And then one of the volunteers comes up to me and says, like, hey, that older gentleman over there is asking for SpawnHunter. And I'm like, what? So I'm like, okay, so maybe something happened. He needs something. So I go over his table. I'm like, hey, Tom, how are you? Hey, I'm Ty. I'm SpawnHunter. I was told that you wanted to see me. Oh, yes. I talked to Tommy, and he wanted
Are you
to send
serious?
his regards to you. And I wanted to make sure you got the message. And I'm like, Tom, thank you. Thank you, Tommy. So your message got to me. I was worried for Tom, but it was his shout out from you to me. So thank you.
I would have never thought that I would be able to conversate with you, Ty, through Tom, man. That's crazy, dude.
That
That
was
is
a
so
trip.
exciting, man. Oh, what a great event, man. Congratulations to you and the rest of the team that put that
Thank you.
together. Because I've never obviously been part of putting something like that together, but on the retail side, I work in the retail business, and we have trade shows throughout the year. And so you got to get there a couple days early. You build your booth, you put out your samples. So it's not the same, but that's about as close to the experience that I could have. And then you're running your booth. So it's 2 days at the booth, refillings, restocking, all that good stuff. And that's exhausting, man. I can't imagine having an entire like convention room full of tables and making sure everyone has their right spot. And that's just crazy. And then even like the fulfillment of everything. I mean, that's just nuts, dude.
It's big nuts. And Saturday was day one.
Yeah.
And I think it was the amount of pressure that we as 40 something years old putting together a convention, right? We were like teenagers when we picked up freaking Spawn from the shelves at the comic book store. We were looked down by the comic book store owners for like, why you buying that crap? You should be buying Spider-Man or X-Men, right?
Exactly.
And to go from that kid
Yeah.
to now putting a freaking convention licensed by Todd McFarlane Productions, mind blowing. So we felt a great amount of pressure going into day one,
for sure.
because with social media, anybody can tweet and say SpawnCon sucks, or like, wow, SpawnCon, what a ripoff. So that exists. Back in the 90s, you had to wait probably 30 days for like Wizard Magazine to come out and say something about SpawnCon. But so everything was happening live at the moment, at the minute. And we felt so pressure, so stressful to make this a cool event for the fans, because we wanted to, we are fans, and we're like, what would we like to see at a Spawn convention? Comics, artists, Spawn stuff. And we worked really hard to make that happen, because you're selling tables for a show, and you could easily sell tables for somebody selling bracelets made out of Twix cereal, and oh wait, we need the money, it's $100 per table, let's just sell the table for this person. No, we had to sacrifice so much to focus on the quality, so that you, the fan, can walk around that circle and find Spawn table, Spawn table, Spawn table, Spawn table, and everything was Spawn related. So that Oh man, it was a lot of work, and
Yeah,
we are glad that after day one, everybody was so happy.
yeah.
Thomas Healy, the editor for Todd, was so happy to see everybody enjoying themselves these 2 days.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. I'm just blown away that you pulled it off, and you and the team. And yeah, you should be very proud, man, because that's crazy. And
Thank you.
just I've only seen it from this viewpoint, that room that you sit in, but the amount of time and money that you have spent adding to this collection because of your passion for Spawn, to be able to participate in a group of people who's been able to work with McFarlane Productions to put on a Spawn con after how many years? 30 years, 25 years of collecting. That's crazy, man. What an awesome feeling.
It is a great feeling of accomplishment
Yeah.
to not just ourselves as adults,
Yeah.
to have a day life, because we all have day jobs, to have families. I'm sure we all have families, and to dedicate some of that time of your day to the hobby and to putting this together, be architects of this Spawn convention to make it so super sweet for all the Spawn heads out there. So I'm happy that you guys are happy, because your comments is what really made a difference for us after the show, that we nailed it.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's incredible. And when you have the editor in chief of Spawn saying you nailed it, that's probably a pretty good feeling too, right?
Absolutely. I was in charge to drive Thomas to his Airbnb the final night of SpawnCon, and
Nice.
I'm driving him, and he's sitting right next to me, and he's saying, you guys really did an amazing job. You should be proud of yourselves.
Awesome.
Great job. I'm going back to Todd, and I'm telling him, dude, this is awesome. You
I
gotta do
love
it. We gotta do it again. This was great. And at that point, I had to take off my management hat of the
Yeah, yeah.
convention organizer and put on my fanboy hat and started fanboying next
Yeah,
to Thomas. And I'm like, Thomas, I'm sorry. I'm just fanboying right now. And he's like, that's okay. That's okay. You are allowed to fanboy right now. I'm like,
yeah, yeah.
thank you, man. I'm so happy. So that was my moment of geekiness right there.
Yeah, that's so cool, man. So, obviously you're working the show, but there had to be a moment where you were able to step aside and be a fan walking the show. Was there something that you picked up to add to your collection, Ty, that you're like super excited about that you didn't have before?
Absolutely. To answer your question, two parts. Part
Okay,
one, I did not get to be an attendee as much as everybody else was,
got you. Okay,
because I was kind of behind the scenes.
yeah,
So, were there items that I wanted to buy? Absolutely. Were there items that I wanted to pick up and spend time and go into portfolios and buy original art?
yeah,
Absolutely. Did I have the time? No.
yeah,
Am I
yeah,
happy that somebody else that attended the show got it?
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. There were some original pieces
Oh
by
wow,
the artists of Spawn that were just magnificent.
wow,
And
wow, wow.
and so I was walking around really fast, making sure everybody's okay. And then I see that one piece by Brian Haberlin, by Jonathan Galapian, and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta come back. I gotta come back. And then I go back and it's gone. And I'm like,
Yeah,
no. So one thing that I did get, and I'll share with you right now because it's right here.
nice.
It's an original piece by Jonathan Galapian.
Wow, that is dope, man.
It's one of one.
That is so cool, dude.
It's pencil and ink by Jonathan. Like I said, one of one original art, and he signed it, Jonathan. And then on the bottom, SpawnCon year one.
Year one. That's crucial that he wrote year one.
So yeah. So this is my precious. This is my one. I went to SpawnCon and all I got was this. It's this, and it was to even add more to it. This piece, it was a gift
No
from my
way.
sister. Yeah, my
Oh,
sister attended the show to show support,
wow.
and she was telling me like, who are the amateur artists? And I said,
Yeah,
these are the amateur artists. And she's like, I want to support them when I buy art. And then I said, and these are the professional artists. This is Jonathan Galapian, for example.
yeah,
Nice to meet you. And I said, look at that piece. Isn't that piece amazing? Pointing to this piece. I love to buy that. But I said to her, let's keep moving so I can show you. So
yeah.
when I went back to pick up the piece, it was gone. And I'm like, oh no. I was so heartbroken. but it
Yeah,
was my sister who had purchased it,
that
and
is so.
Jonathan knew about it because Jonathan said, "I'm saving that piece for Ty," and my sister says, I'm his sister," and
Yeah,
she's like, "Oh, well then, let's get it for you," and he signed it.
that's
He
so
signed it
cool.
in the back as well,
Yeah,
and the fact that he added SpawnCon year one on the bottom
yeah,
of this, it just added to me. This is my one that I'll take home with me to remember year one.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, what an amazing piece to take home too. It's beautiful, man. That's
I
awesome.
love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. It's my one. It's my
Yeah,
one piece.
I'm so glad I asked Ty because that is so freaking dope, dude.
I'm glad you did too.
Well, Ty, I mean, I'm so happy that SpawnCon went so well. I'm really excited for year two. There definitely has got to be a year two after the success of year one. And like you said, I think it's going to be a slow build. And, I think Todd is in the background watching, overseeing everything, and he's going to know when he needs to insert himself. And that's just going to be an amazing feeling because I think he wants to be involved, man. I just, the sense I got, it just, knowing that there's a bunch of people who love you that are putting on this show in Denver and you're sitting in Arizona or wherever you're at, right? I mean, in the back of your mind, you got to be thinking that weekend, like, I wonder how it's going. And maybe Thomas is like sending text messages to him. Who knows, right? I'm guessing, but he's like, yeah, this is working out, man. This is pretty dope. Or maybe even sending pictures.
We made it work as a team for
Yeah.
as an organization. We're a team of 6 people,
Uh-huh.
and as an organization, we were very happy with the results because of how people responded.
Yeah.
In terms of financials, I think we broke even at least, and then maybe we did a little bit more, and whatever that little bit more we're gonna use for year two.
Yeah.
For year two, we are definitely marching forward with it. We have a great list of guests that we want to add on.
Yeah.
We have what we like about it is that we can have it in any city we want.
Yeah.
So we can have it in Vegas, we can have it in Arizona, we can have it. Different people have mentioned different cities to host it,
Sure.
and we love that it can float around, so
Yeah.
that it's never at one place, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, San Diego again, like
Yeah.
so. Who knows where the next one will be? So Vegas sounds really cool.
Yep.
So who knows? We might have it there. So whatever, whenever and whatever, we're still kind of putting it together again as year
Yeah.
one, as we did in year one.
Well, that's so awesome, and I can't wait. Like, how soon do you start working on year two? Like, is it immediate or like 6 months before? Like, it's a
We
lot of
already started.
you
We
already
already
started.
started. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
we already
We have to,
started.
right?
We already have. We have to. We
Yeah.
have to because lessons learned from last year, and just how we need to get everything. We probably sold more merchandise than we had planned to have
Okay.
available at the show, right? So we sold all this other stuff,
Yeah.
and we're happy because we're not making it anymore. Like, that's part of the contract. Is like, we made 100 shirts, that's it. We made
Yeah.
100 VIP boxes, that's it. We made 125 coins, that's it. So now, if you think about it,
Yeah.
all those items are now officially collector items.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
not making them again. Those shirts, that's it. Those hats, that's it. The
Yeah.
VIP boxes, the coins, everything, that's it. It's gone.
That's dope.
So for the years to come, if you ever shit, do I want to buy a hat? I don't have a Spawn hat. You can't go into Hot Topic and buy a Spawn hat.
Yeah.
Hey, SpawnCon had Spawn hats.
Yeah.
And now I guess they're on eBay. I guess you
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
pick one up on eBay. So we've made something a labor of love. Now it's become part of that Spawn canon,
Yeah.
that collectibles that you can actually buy, and they're legit licensed products.
That's so cool, man. That's so dope, dude. I don't even know what to say, Ty. Man, I think that's so amazing. And I'm glad you did it that way. That way there's a little bit of worth long term of the things that you buy there, right? And I think that's what makes it obviously a collector's item, but makes it very special for any kind of a Spawn collector. So that's amazing,
It
incredible.
does. It does because we didn't have comics.
Yeah,
We didn't have action figures, but
yeah,
we had official Spawn products
yeah,
that are official. are canon. So if you're a collector and you collect anything Spawn,
Yeah.
you're probably gonna have to want a Spawn hat that was made for SpawnCon year one. You're probably
Yeah.
gonna want a Spawn VIP box complete with all the items,
Yeah.
which includes the 2 pins, the badge, the coin, the VIP shirt, and the VIP hat.
Yeah.
And that box in itself, it's like awesome collector to have. Like the box itself, it's all went through Todd's eyes.
Yeah.
Todd said yes, no, yes,
Yeah.
no. Make this one like this, make this one like that. Okay, done, done, done. And that's what you got. So
That's
when you
awesome.
look at the VIP box, right, you're looking at something that went through Todd's eyes and said,
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like that. Yes, yes, yes. So as a collector, yes, why wouldn't you want to have
Yeah.
the year one Spawn VIP box?
It's so cool, man.
I know, like it became a collectible without like thinking like how we didn't think about, oh, those VIP boxes are going to become collectible. We didn't think about that. We were thinking like this is going to be cool at the moment, like people whoever
Right.
grabs this. And now we are probably about 3 weeks away from 3 weeks after the show. We are now like people are asking us, do you have any coins left? They're like, no, they're gone. Do you have any VIP boxes? I think we have a few.
Yeah.
Do you have this shirt left? No, those were gone. So everything that we are left over with, that's it.
Yeah.
So if you guys are lucky enough to have grabbed one, congratulations, because
Yeah.
it's truly, I would say, one of a kind items that you've picked up.
That's so dope, man. I love it. I love it, man. Can't wait for year 2.
And I do have your VIP box, Tommy. You're
Oh,
safe.
I'm not worried about it, man.
No,
I know you got me, bro. I know you got
I
me.
got you. Yes, I did. I got you. So don't worry. There's your VIP box. Yes,
I can't wait, dude. I can't wait to crack that open, man.
it's got all the contents. Like I said, everything is in here.
It's so beautiful, dude. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Love it, Ty. Well, I mean, let's jump into some of the other topics, man, because at San Diego Comic-Con and then New York Comic-Con, Todd dropped all kinds of news, and in between a little bit too on Instagram and Facebook and whatnot. But he dropped a bunch of news of all kinds of new titles that they're looking at doing over the next year and a half. Some of them they've already named artists and already named writers for and creators. Some are kind of just still out in the open, and he doesn't seem to want to really talk about it too much yet. I'm sure like over the next year he's gonna blast out whenever news comes of whoever the writer or the creator is of those comics. But I thought maybe we could go through some of these and yeah, I mean, I would love to get your opinion on that, man. You are like the expert when it comes to Spawn, so I love talking to you about this. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. So the first one is Erica Schultz, who I was honored to have her on the World at War Comics podcast. I had a blast talking with her, man. I knew her from Hollow's Eve on the Marvel side, but that's really all I knew. I knew she dabbled with Daredevil a little bit, but outside of that, I mean, she's done so much more than that, but I just didn't know her that well. But I knew her as the writer for Hollow's Eve, and actually the canon that Hollow's Eve has right now is really due to Erica. She's really developed that character. And so she was named for Rat City, which is the Spawn of the future. It follows Peter. And it's completely unique, the story. I mean, it's not like any other Spawn, right? Because he's not dead and he didn't make a deal with anybody to be able to become a Spawn, right? He was in the military. He lost his legs, and these legs that he gains have nanites from issue 300 and 301 when Spawn blew up everything, right? Well, it went out into the environment, into the atmosphere, and all of a sudden 100 years later, these legs have it, and when he puts them on, he becomes a Spawn. It sounds freaking crazy good. I don't know if you've had a chance to see the actual images of that Spawn, but it's almost like Transformers / Spawn / like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it looks pretty dope, man. A little RoboCop in there, maybe. I don't know.
I like it. I like that it's a fresh story, right?
Yeah.
We have no background on it. We have no history on the characters that are involved. So we're gonna get to learn something from the beginning,
Yeah.
right? So a lot of people that read Spawn, they're like, who's Al Simmons and who are these guys? So you got to go back into like a lot of history. But with Rat City, it's like you and I are going to be picking up something that we both are going to be surprised about.
Exactly.
And I get the vibes of the 2099 line back in the 90s with Marvel, right? And yes, Ravage, Punisher, X-Men. But if we are very much aware, one of those characters went to become very popular, and that's Spider-Man 2099. He was born of the 2099 line. So I like to view Rat City as the Spawn 2099 line. And that's our Spider-Man 2099. It's this new Spawn, which looks cybernetic, futuristic. It will make a great toy.
So, wait for that figure.
Yeah, right. So that's how I view at it. It's a fresh story, and like I said, Spider-Man 2099 was so fresh that we have a movie based out of him. So come on, right? So it couldn't hurt.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt at all, man. And then we have Shea Carlos, who is on art. He's the one that helped with Erica, the design of that Spawn figure, and I think that duo is going to be absolutely amazing. Talking to Erica, she's really has an amazing knowledge of the history of Al Simmons and of Spawn, so she's going to be able to make those connections that needs to be there in any kind of a Spawn book. But it's a brand new story that she created. She said that it was at New York. It was New York Comic Con last year that Thomas Healy came to her and said, what do you think about putting something together for Spawn? So they were eyeballing her for this. It sounds like I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth here, but it sounds amazing that this has been a year in motion. And talking to her, I mean, they're about 6 issues in, and this won't even drop until like spring of next year timeframe. So she couldn't really say the actual time frame, but she did mention spring. So I'm super excited about this one. I hope everybody that's listening or watches this gets pretty excited about it, because I do think this is going to be a pretty dope version.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, we're talking about multiverse, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Every fan that doesn't even read the comics but follows the movies these days, they're very much well aware of a multiverse, whether it's DC Comics, whether it's Marvel Comics, and now we get this Spawn multiverse where now we have the Spawn of the future, right? And he's being established. Like we're seeing the beginnings of the multiverse with Gunslinger, Medieval, Spawn, now this new character, and the many more. We're building the multiverse of Spawn, and what better time to be a Spawn fan than right now?
We're going to get so much Spawn. I think it's going to blow us away, man. It's going to be so much fun. All right, so the next one was Spawn: The Dark Ages, and Liam Sharp has been tapped to be in charge of that one. So we don't know a whole lot about this one. And when I tried to kind of get into the topic of all these different issues that were, or titles that were coming out, Todd didn't seem like he wanted to dig into it. So I did talk about Rat City, and he was open to that. We did talk about Sam and Twitch, which he kind of talked about that because he's actually the writer for that one. But a lot of them, he didn't seem like he wanted to get too much into it, because I don't think he wanted to get kind of in a spot where maybe he reveals more than he wants to reveal at this time. But we do know the title is going to be called The Dark Ages, which sounds pretty awesome. Again, Sam and Twitch. We've had a Sam and Twitch before. We did have a short series. I don't know if you remember what year it was. It was in the 2000s, wasn't it?
Yes, and it was by a famous writer named Brian Michael Bendis.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it was a short series, right? Yeah, there it is. Yep, I have a few of them. Yeah.
So this is the hardcover first printing.
That's
this is out of print. And it's factory seal, if you can see it. Yes, but very popular, true detective type stuff.
Yeah.
And it's Brian Michael Bendis. I mean, come on, can you wrong
exactly with that? Superman. I mean, give me a break, man. That's dope, dude. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad that that's coming back out. And he did mention it will be again kind of that true detective, but with the world expanding the way that it is, I can't wait to see like what situations that they're in and what kind of crimes that they need to help solve and figure out. Because I'm my assumption again, I'm hoping, right? But we got Scorch, we have King Spawn, we have Gunslinger, like those weren't around in a way that Sam and Twitch probably could cover those, right? So here they are, and these are titles that are, what are we on? 30 something of Gunslinger, 28, something like that. King Spawn, I think we're in the 30s. Scorched, we're close to mid 20s, something like that, if I remember, somewhere around there. But I mean, I can't wait to see some of this get involved with Sam and Twitch and see what they have to do when they get sucked into something that happens within those worlds.
For sure. And I like to see Sam and Twitch kind of like the DC's Vertigo. I don't know if you remember
Yes.
the Vertigo line,
Oh, yeah.
which was the dark,
Yeah, more mature, yeah.
not independent, but more mature. Yeah. So I like to see like Sam and Twitch. I place them into that branch of the Vertigo style type branch.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I can't wait for that one. The next one is Deadly Tales of Gunslinger. And this one, they have Jimmy Palmiotti, who is going to be the writer, and Patrick Reynolds on art. This one sounds amazing. This is Gunslinger in the Civil War era, which sounds pretty freaking awesome, man. So I can't wait to see what Jimmy does. I do like Jimmy as a writer, and so I'm really excited. I do have quite a few things that he has done in the past, and actually some of his Kickstarters that I've backed and received, Trigger Girl 6 and a couple other ones like that. So I'm really excited about this one. I think the idea of a gunslinger in the 1760 range, somewhere around there, could be a lot of fun too. Just that character alone is just dope as hell.
I probably, out of all the new titles that are coming out, in terms of probably high expectations, I would have to place the Gunslinger Old Western Story book coming out by Jimmy. Why? Because I'm a fan of the Gunslinger character. I want to see him in his element. What is his element? It's the Old West.
Yeah,
the Old West is gothic. The Old West can be dark. The Old West is very raw, right?
Yeah.
So the new Gunslinger series, the present Gunslinger series, there's a lot of elements of the present, and there's dinosaurs, and there's motorcycles, and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But I always kind of wanted to see this character in his own element, in that time period, if you may. So what better person to have than Jimmy Palmiotti, who has written Jonah Hex in the past?
Yes, that's right.
He knows his Old West very well. So for him to write at Western, 100% Western with a demon, right? Of Gunslinger Spawn, I love to read that. So in the book, I have high expectations for that one, because I really want Jimmy to nail that one out of the ballpark for sure.
Yeah. Do you think some of the old Western folklore, some of the old like famous Western people that were coming west, do you think somehow eventually that will be kind of tied in with Gunslinger Spawn?
Man, I don't know. With Jimmy, he can go so many different ways.
Yeah.
If he can combine the established mythos of the Old West that we know, the immigrants, the tough trails that they had to go through. But then if you really Google, and I've done this so many times, if you Google Gothic West or Gothic Old West, there's a plethora of material from those times, because we had ghost stories back then, and they were pretty dark. There's probably some really good Gothic stories that are the ghost stories of the Old West, right? The spirits and the Native American element to it. There's a lot of stuff supernatural that happened, and the Native American culture has a lot of spirituality involved in it. So why wouldn't we have something combining that with the Old West and the rock life that they had? So hence, it is my most high expectation book coming out of the new lines. Absolutely, without a doubt.
For sure. I mean, and you look at the expanded Spawn verse. I mean, Gunslinger's got to be there at the top of popularity right now. So it makes a lot of sense too, right? That he would have a second title, because he is, I believe, the dopest looking Spawn right now. Everything about him I love, man.
He is. He's got the way I look at him, and Todd has said this before, and it does make sense. He is the Spawn's Wolverine.
Yeah,
He is that guy. So his potential to grow, his
yeah,
potential to go places. I mean, let's just treat the character right. Let's do him right, and
yeah.
let's see how far they can take this character. Because him, like Medieval Spawn as well, they 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 can grow into something bigger than what they are.
Fully agree, man. Super excited about that one. That timetable, that old western, everything you mentioned, man, sounds absolutely incredible. All right.
Yes.
Then we get into Misery, and I don't know a ton about this one. I don't know if you know a little bit more, but it looks like McFarlane will be on the writing duties of Misery, and Kudrensky will be the artist, it looks like. Do you have any information on there? I couldn't find a whole lot when I was looking about a week ago, but that is a title that's been thrown out there.
Nothing. I
Yeah,
know nothing about it, and we tried kind of like getting more information at SpawnCon, and they were like, when the time is right, we're gonna reveal more about
yeah.
that title." So I'm same boat as you are, Tommy.
Yeah, that sounds good. No, I got it, man. You're absolutely right, man. All right. Then we get into Medieval Spawn Violator, which also sounds pretty dope. This one will be Kyle Hatz. Will be taking charge of this one. Not a whole lot of information on this one either, although it'll be taking place during the bubonic plague, is what I understand. That's all I've gotten out of this one. I don't know if you've received any more information on this one or no.
That same thing. It's like
Yeah,
they're keeping a tight lid on these
yeah,
comics that are coming out, and it
absolutely.
makes sense, because you got to
I
prepare.
want to be surprised. I want to be surprised when some of this stuff comes
Yeah,
out.
and you got to budgetize. I mean, you got to be
Yeah,
thinking about like you're adding a new title to your pool box, right? So it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
what am I getting myself into, right? Because
exactly.
one of those titles that I'm sure you mentioned is Spawn kills Spawn kills Spawn,
Yeah, Spawn kills every Spawn.
every Spawn, right? So they're fans that love that comic
Yeah,
as well as they're fans that they're not really big fans of that character, right? Because it's
absolutely.
very like a humoristic kind of thing.
Reminds
So
me
are
of
you
Scotty Young's title,
uh,
um,
something kills
which,
the Marvel universe or something like that?
no, the new one that he has where it's the girl and she just kills everybody. Um,
Fairyland.
Fairyland,
Something.
exactly, exactly.
Yes, yes,
So it
yes,
kind of
yes.
reminds me a little bit of something like that, where it's just nonsense, funny, crazy, shocking, all of those things all mixed up into one bag.
So I just think that what Todd McFarlane Productions is doing is providing
Yeah,
uh, an all-you-can-eat buffet.
yeah,
And there's people that eat veggies, and there's
yeah.
people that eat meat, and there's people
Agree.
that eat just sweets, right? So you have the salmon twitch people, the mystery noir. You have the medieval Spawn stuff that is like barbaric, and you have the funny stuff. The Spawn
Yeah,
kills every Spawn. So there's something for everyone, and I think it's good to have. It's
yeah,
definitely
absolutely.
variety is excellent.
Absolutely. Yeah. And he even mentioned like some of these will be ongoing series, some of these will be like a 4 issue arc, and that's it. And then maybe every year they'll do another arc. And he obviously didn't want to go into detail, but when you read all this, you're like, how are you going to have 10 ongoing series, man? That's just way too much, right? And obviously he's not doing that. So he made that very clear. But man, it's so fun to kind of dig into these and kind of figure out on our own what could be
Yes.
taking place, and then when it comes out, see how close we were to it as fans of Spawn. The next one is Focus. I don't know if you saw that one yet.
No, that one catches me by surprise.
Yeah, yeah. So McFarlane and Marco will be on art. I know nothing about it.
This is the first I've heard of it.
Yep, that was one of the ones that, again, I think most of these are right on from a title standpoint. There's just not a lot of information about it. Some of this might be someone throwing out stuff, and I just got out the. So I want to preface. I did not get this list from McFarlane Productions or Image Comics. I was digging online and just trying to figure out, and then I obviously watched his San Diego Comic-Con where he released some of this, and then the team, because McFarlane wasn't in New York because he was at a wedding, but in New York, he had his team there, and they did reveal some of this as well. But Focus is another one that I did read, will be a new title. Have no idea what it's about.
Yeah, that's a surprise. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So this other one sounds. This is the last one that I was able to find any information. You let me know if you saw something, but It's called No Home Here.
Oh yeah.
And this one, I have a feeling it's gonna be out there, man, right? Because it's really about Billy Kincaid. And if you've read the first, 15 issues, you know exactly what I'm talking about. What is that?
This is the exclusive print that Jonathan Glapion had at
No,
SpawnCon, and it's based on that comic that's coming out.
dude, get out
Super
of
cool. It's he gave me this print. And he's like, listen, thank you for putting SpawnCon together.
here. Wow.
Let me sign this for you. This is for you. Thank you. And so, dude, Jonathan Glapion is probably one of my
Yes.
favorite artists right now. And
Yeah.
now that SpawnCon year 1 is behind us,
Yeah.
I can admit that I was pitching to get Jonathan on SpawnCon.
I
And
love it, man.
you had to be very professional. Everybody
Sure.
has their favorites.
Yeah.
Some people had, their list, and me was Jonathan. And when Jonathan expressed interest and
Yeah.
Tara was excited to be part of it, it
Yeah.
just worked out. And I was just so happy that have Jonathan. So to answer your question,
Yes.
it's a tale of the future in years from now in the future. And it involves Cyan as
Yes.
one of the characters, and
Right.
then something with the elements of Spawn. But Jonathan was also very trying to keep the surprise element. But the
Yeah.
fact that he's the artist on this
Yes.
book, I think that's going to be so cool, because we've seen Jonathan mostly as a cover artist. So to see
Yeah.
Jonathan in an ongoing book is going to be mind blowing. It's like Alex Ross, right? Alex
Exactly.
Ross does the best covers, but then
Yeah.
you look at Marvels or Kingdom Come, and he did the art. Like, yes. So I'm very much looking forward to this.
So
Book.
there was two names attached to that title. Obviously, Jonathan, who you mentioned, and then Daniel Enriquez is the other one. So
Yes.
those are the two gentlemen that are connected to that. What do you got there?
This is the print that Jonathan had also at the show.
That's
He
pretty.
signed it on the bottom corner there.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, that's awesome.
So this is another promotional piece for this new book. Yeah, so
Awesome.
it looks all kinds of awesome. I think it's definitely, artistically speaking, it's probably the one that everybody's going to be like looking forward to the most.
Yeah. No, it sounds amazing, man. What I could find is it's about Billy Kincaid, a victim of his, and we'll just leave it at that. So super exciting. Those are the 9 that I was able to find. I read somewhere there was 10, but I can only find 9 titles. And again, focus. Maybe it's a rumor. I don't know, but that was one of the titles that was in there that you and I have no information. Although McFarlane is supposedly writing that and Marco is on art. So we'll see if anything comes from that. But a lot of really cool stuff. He said that it could take a year and a half or so before all these titles come out. To your point, right? Everyone has a pull list. They don't want 5 titles all coming at the same time. Right now they've got the 4 titles that are out right now, and it's like every week you're getting something from Spawn. As you come out with all these titles, right, he really wants to spread them out, that way we're not overwhelming the fan base. And again, like you said, it's a buffet. Some of these fans won't be that interested in. I could tell you I will pick up every single one of these titles, at least the first 3 issues, to determine which one I want to continue with, and then I'll go from there. That's what I usually do with everything. I try not to let one issue dictate whether it's Marvel, DC, Indie. I try to give it at least 2 or 3 before I make my final decision, like that's not for me type thing. So I'll do the same thing with all of these, although I'm a big Spawn fan, so I have a feeling that I'll be picking up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's fun as a collector, right? To, how many covers are we going to see of this one, right? It's going to be like a variant cover, a
Sure.
1:25 ratio, and it's fun to kind of be on the hunt for those issues. Sam and
Yeah.
Twitch, who knows? There may be different covers for the Sam and Twitch, for the Spawn kills every Spawn. So as a collector, it's fun to collect all the number 1s and try to collect those. So I think it's fun. And like you said, if you read the book and you love it and you like it and you want to follow it, then that becomes your book. That becomes the book.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. I love it. I can't wait for all these to come out. And it looks like the spring is when some of these will start dropping, probably like March, April timeframe is what I understand. So we'll see them sooner than later, man. Thanksgiving's already next week. So
I
we'll be in
know.
December. December always goes like that. And then all of a sudden 2024 is here and we'll be getting ready for some of these Spawn titles.
Spring is a good time. That's when the races come in. So
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
good time actually too.
Love it, man. I love it. All right, man. The next thing that we kind of wanted to cover today was the movie. And so one of the things, I mean, this you could tell the frustration in Todd whenever you talk about the movie because of the passion that he has around this project. And anything and everything that could possibly go wrong seems like it has, and no fault to anybody, right? I mean, you had two major injuries of stars, so thankfully they're healthy, because that's the most important thing, right? But then you had the strike, the writer's strike, which I think they were 80 pages in, and then they had to stop. And so Todd is sitting here with 80 pages and he doesn't have the ending to it. And then you have the actors strike, which just ended this last week. So even when the writing was, okay, you could go ahead and finish that, he still can't do anything because of the writer's strike. It's just like one thing after another. You had the, everything with COVID and 2020, which was a disaster for the whole world. But I do feel, and I don't know if you feel the same way, I do think Blumhouse and Jason, I feel like they're the right people for this type of a project. They seem as passionate as Todd, and it's like hell or high water, man. We're making this damn movie. In fact, Jason said words very similar to that. Hell or high water, man. This will be out in 2025. So I was super excited about that. Todd did mention October of 2025, which for a Spawn movie to drop in October, I think is, if it works out that way, I think that's beautiful, man. So I don't know what your feeling is around this, Ty, but I got excited when he talked about it. And he said, if everything goes to hell, I will fund the whole damn thing by myself, and I will still put this out in 2025. So he was pretty.
Yes. I watched your interview with Todd about this, and well, that was a great interview, by the way. I
Thank you.
learned so much because the first part of the interview, he talks a lot about the business, and
Yeah.
he gave some really good business advice.
So
So putting comics aside, and you listen to that first, I think 20 minutes of your interview,
Yeah.
and I picked up so much stuff that I'm applying just business wise, and it made a lot of sense in your careers or whatever it is. So if you guys are listening to this, watch that interview that Tommy did with Todd. Really good stuff. All right, so putting that aside, the movie. Jason Blum said something to Todd McFarlane, and at the time that Todd listened to this, it frustrated him, but it also makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Blum said to Todd, "When the Spawn movie will be ready when it's ready.
Yeah.
The Spawn movie will be coming when it's ready, right?
Yeah.
When it's ready." And that makes so much sense because you don't want to rush things. You don't want to just deliver product because you want to deliver the product. You want to deliver product that it's really well, executed and well done.
Mm-hmm.
I
Agreed.
don't know if you watch Five Nights at Freddy's, but Five Nights at Freddy's was also a
Yeah.
movie that was for the years fans wanted to make that movie. Years, right? And Jason Blum was like, "Yeah, we're working on it. We're working on it." It came out. They did a really good job. I really enjoyed that movie. They nailed it. They did the franchise right. So
Exactly.
I have no problems sitting back and waiting for these experts to make this movie be the vision that Todd has in his mind
Mm-hmm.
and make it marketable for people that don't know about Spawn and
Yeah.
watch Spawn and are like, "Oh shit, that's awesome."
Yeah. Yeah.
Make it so. Don't just do it because you feel pressure to do it. And to me, I've waited 30 years for this movie to come out again. So I can't wait, man. I have no problems with that. I'd rather see a good product be delivered than something rushed
Absolutely.
and done half-assed.
Yeah.
So take your time, Jason. Take your time, Todd.
Yeah.
Make it crafty, make it cool, make it good. I know
Yeah.
you can. We got the technology, we got the CGI, you got the great cast. Take your
Yeah.
time, make it so.
And that was the one thing that just wasn't around in was it 97, right? Um,
97.
yeah, because that was probably the biggest thing, is kind of the CGI of the cape. I mean, the technology wasn't there. It's here today. And so a lot of those visual effects that really make Spawn who Spawn is, I think it's going to be absolutely incredible this time around, because that exists now, right? To be able to take it to another level. And I think that's going to be amazing. Plus, Jason understands horror. He understands that dark side. And Todd made it very clear that this movie is going to be very dark. It's going to be an R-rated movie. And it's going to be everything every Spawn ever wanted out of a Spawn movie. And I agree with you. I think give Jason the time to make it happen the right way. That way, everything that they've been talking about could come to fruition, and we get the Spawn movie that all fans deserve, right? And that's all Todd wants, it sounds like.
It is, and I think that's why it's taking so long. And it sucks that you got the strike, you got the COVID, you got all these things. Who knows what could happen next month?
Yeah.
Who knows what could happen next week?
Yeah.
But let these guys do what they do, what they get paid to do, and it's to produce and to put something together that makes sense, and it's something that you watch over and over again.
Exactly.
Okay, there's movies that you travel a lot, like I do. You're in a hotel and you're flipping through channels, through whether they have DirecTV or Comcast, and you're flipping, and then you'll see a movie that it has commercials on it, but you like that movie.
Yeah.
But you watch that movie with commercials on because you know it's entertaining.
Exactly.
That's what you want. You want a movie that years from now you'll be at your hotel eating your frozen meal, and then oh, there's that on FX. I'll watch that.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
And to be honest with you, I like watching Spawn. Sometimes it comes up on TNT or one of those channels, right? FX. I don't know. And I'll watch it. I'm like, freaking A, I'm watching Spawn again.
Why not? Yeah. I love it, man. I love it, man. No, that's so cool, man. And I couldn't agree with you more. I'm really excited for it, and I'm glad that the strike is over. There's a little bit more light at the end of the tunnel, I think. And, Jason and team can start to get to work now. And right now, if everything goes as planned, it seems like October of 2025, it will be in theaters. And if they could do that, great. If they need more time, great. But at least things are like in a place right now where they could actually get started, which I think is great.
Knock on wood. It stays on schedule, right? And SpawnCon Year 2 will have it around the same time, October 2024. And maybe we'll have a teaser poster.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have a teaser
dope.
Of the teaser.
Yeah.
And something like that. Or even a teaser image. And boom, enough for everybody to talk about at the SpawnCon Year 2 about the speculations of the movie. So
exactly.
We're excited to have SpawnCon Year 2 because we could have some news to share by then.
Yeah,
maybe a trailer, right? Maybe something like that. So we are excited as much as everybody is.
Yeah, you have to request that Jason be there, man.
Okay, we can make that happen.
I don't think you will, but I think that'd be awesome, man.
Hey, you never
What's
know.
up, Will? What's up? We got Critical Entertainment in the house, man. These guys are incredible. But I couldn't agree with you more, Ty. I love it, man. All right, brother. Last thing, man. Toys. Todd's killing me, man, because I collect all of his figures.
I know you do.
He's either gonna get me divorced or I'm just gonna have to go bankrupt, bro, because he's dropping figures like there's no tomorrow, man. So I collect all the DC stuff. I collect all the Spawn stuff. But he's dropping DC stuff left and right. And now he's getting into these amazing characters from like the 60s and 70s under Target exclusives and stuff like that are just freaking amazing. But I could have sworn I saw a new, maybe it's going to be January, but isn't there a new Spawn figure that is coming in January? Did I read that right?
You're thinking of King Spawn, the King Spawn figure that was just it dropped today for a pre-order. It's $54.99 on Amazon.
Oh, is it an Amazon exclusive?
I believe so, or McFarlane Toys. Yeah, it dropped today.
It wasn't on
It's available.
McFarlane Toys because I was on McFarlane Toys.
Okay.
It must be an Amazon exclusive. I did see it, but I didn't see where to buy it. So I'm glad you said something because I got to get on Amazon today.
I think it's, so I know it dropped today. It's
Yeah.
$54.99. It's King Spawn,
Yeah.
and it's got little minions as an
Yes.
accessory, and
Yeah.
it's got about 7 weapons that it comes with. It's got wings, and it's in a box set, so it's very similar to the Spawn in the Throne kind of
Okay.
deluxe box set. So
Yes.
that's how it's being marketed as to why the price.
Yeah.
But dude, yes,
Amazing.
I don't know how you do it, collecting all those McFarlane figures. I always say this, hats off to the guys who are collecting DC Multiverse, because you guys have a long list to keep up with, and it's never ending.
It's never ending, bro.
Never ending.
Never
And
ending,
it's
man.
every week I feel like there's a new figure that's dropping.
It's so bad, man.
I just got one in the mail today, but you know.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
We're both showing ours. Yeah, you got Aquaman.
It is the Spawn, but I was in Target and I was looking at this one because it comes with Topo, the octopus. So this is a Target exclusive gold label. And so I had a doctor appointment, and on the way home, I was hitting Targets on the way home trying to find this, and I did find it. So I was really excited.
Good for you.
But this is the life, man, trying to figure out, because you got Entertainment Earth, you have Big Bad Toy Store, you got McFarlane, you have Amazon, you have Target, you have Walmart. That one's dope, man. Which one is that one?
So this one came in today. It's the Redeemer with the glow in the dark wings.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's the artwork in the back.
It looks
amazing. But this one's got the it's the glow in the dark edition. This just came in.
And that was that Entertainment Earth?
I got that from Amazon, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was an Entertainment Earth one, but anyways, yeah, that's awesome. And it's beautiful. I have the Redeemer, the other one, not the glow in the dark, man. So I got to pick that one up next. But I did get the other 2 figures that just came out.
I'm pretty much up to date with every Spawn figure that is out to date
since 1994.
Since 1994, yes. So you name the figure that's out, I have it, including the Page Punchers. I got them. The new figures that came out, the 2 figures, boom, got them.
Yeah.
The Redeemer glow in the dark, got them. The Cygor Patina, got them.
Yeah.
The Cygor and She Spawn box set, got it. Yeah. So I don't have to worry about chasing these figures out. And it's easier for me being a Spawn fan. I'm sorry, Tommy. But DC Multiverse, I would be hurting.
Yeah, you get about 5 or 6, I think, figures a year, probably from Spawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about every 2 months. There's 5 or 6 figures.
I'll be donating plasma every 3 days a week.
You know, I might start doing that, man. Although I'm not sure how good my plasma is, bro. But
yours is the best.
You collect a lot of stuff, though, bro, because you're always looking, man. And then you got like these people all over the world looking for you too, man. So I have a feeling we're probably spending pretty close to the same, man. When it comes to
I help my buddies out that are like, you know, not in America. They live far away, and we help each other out. In fact, I just got something from them that you might like. Let's see. So I got this magazine, nice condition. It's from the 90s, and it features Malbolgia for Series 2. So magazines like this that you don't come across, right? Like
I've never seen anything like that.
Like oddities that you find, you know. I'm collecting all the freaking bums that are out there.
I have one up there.
So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6 different ones that are signed in different colors of the Todd McFarlane signature. He signed it in red, green, blue, and this one's gold.
Yeah.
So now I have all the colors now that he signed in.
That's
with,
crazy,
and bro. No, the collecting community is about helping each other out.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, to me, there's no fun in collecting if I'm not helping somebody out. So, I love having buddies all over the world, and I love helping them looking for whatever it is that they're looking for.
Yeah.
I'll be more than happy to help them out always.
Nice, man. That's sweet, bro. That's awesome.
And you too, even though you're here in California, so that's not a problem.
Absolutely, man. You know, I love it for that reason too, man. I think it's a lot of fun. I don't know, man. Sometimes, to be honest, because I try to stay on top of it. Once in a while, I'll miss something, and then I got to buy it on the aftermarket because I screwed up and I got the dates wrong. But for the most part, I'm on top of it. And so because of that, right, I don't stress too much about it because 9 a.m. whenever it launches, I'm there and then boom, I get it. But I still like to go into the stores, even though I know I already have like the Walmart exclusive. I still like to go in there, and if I see it, I reach out to those folks just to make sure that they got it, and they do the same. And I just think that's so cool, man. That's that community that we've all created, and I think it's awesome, man.
The SpawnHunter brand is what it is today because of helping other people out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Spawn collectors out there. I'm not the only one. There's a lot of Spawn collectors out there that have been collecting just probably as long as I have.
Yeah.
But you don't hear about them because they travel in a less traveled road, so to speak.
Yeah.
But whereas me, I'm putting myself out there not just because, hey, I got this in my collection, but because, hey, I got extra of this. Who wants it? Hey, I'll give it away. Here you go. And somebody helped me once, I'm helping back again.
Yeah, it's awesome, bro. Love it, man. Love it. Love it. Well, man, I don't know what else to cover, Ty, man. I wanted to go over all those titles with you because I knew you'd have some insight on those. So I appreciate that, man. As far as like the McFarlane figures, there's a couple Target exclusives. You talked about the Patina edition and then the other King Spawn that dropped today on Amazon.
That's right.
I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, he obviously real big into gaming. So Diablo, World of Warcraft, he dropped a whole bunch of stuff around there. I'm definitely not getting into that area because that's way too much, man. But yeah, Pacific,
man,
Mandy.
I was traveling when you had that interview, but one of the questions I had that I would have had for Todd on that interview, as you were speaking about the Diablo figures, was those Diablo figures look so detailed. They look so good. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't come around saying that those figures look great.
Yeah.
I wanted to say, Todd, can you take that level of detail and make like a medieval Spawn with that paint job, with those washes, with those weapons, and that, I don't know. It's just even the base accessories look freaking dope on those Diablo figures. Why can't we have a line of Spawn figures that are in that level of detail that are like super, super extra detail? That would have been my question.
Yeah, no, that would have been a great question too, because I think maybe Diablo, like, right, we had all these different points of articulation that continue to grow over time. Right now, most of the DC figures at least come with about 22 to 24 points of articulation. So you could swivel the abdomen, you could swivel the head, this double jointed in it's incredible, the detail over time. Because I have figures like from the first or second wave, and there's like no articulation at all, man. Look at Al.
The art of Spawn figures.
And you know this one.
Of course.
Yeah, so here's Al. There's zero, man. His arm goes up and down a little bit, and that's it.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be standing like this for all of time,
forever.
Right? And then you look at some of the newer figures, and you can move their fingers and stuff. I mean, it's crazy, bro. I mean, it's just insane, man. How far Todd has taken collectibles and really pushed the rest of the industry to go in that route too, man. I mean, you're looking at Marvel Legends, and Marvel Legends have been they're like, a few years behind all the time. And now I'm starting to see double joints and stuff like that. He's pushing the rest of the industry for the collectors to step up their game, to stay, up to speed. They still can't do it at his price points because, he's private. So he doesn't have to have the same margins as like a Hasbro or something, which I love as a McFarlane fan, because you can still pick this up for $19.99 at Target, man,
And you know that Greg Capullo's coming up with a new Creech miniseries coming out.
No way.
Again. So this is the first Creech figure, and it looks awesome, right? It looks like the Hulk, right? And again, there's no articulation.
Yeah.
But it looks freaking awesome.
It's so dope. The detail though is amazing.
Yeah, and now we're gonna have another Creech miniseries. So who knows? We may have more Creech product, like a figure.
That's so awesome.
Save Save money now.
I know. There's no money to save, bro. I just keep spending it, man.
Dude, hats off to you,
I
man.
just got my pull list right now, man. You know, so
Oof.
on the way home.
I got my comics too.
Did you?
I just picked up some back issues myself. Spawn 70,
Nice.
which is gonna be homage coming out from Jonathan Glapion for the Scorch.
Oh,
There's a cover like this.
No way.
With Monolith. Only it's the Monolith face, but he's doing the same thing with the eyes and the mouth.
That's
so
awesome,
I got this to do a little.
I can't
spotlight.
wait to see your Instagram post with that one and
the spotlight.
Right,
right,
man.
It's gonna be cool, dude. I have so many spotlights to work on.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It's finding the time, man.
Insane. There's this Greg Capullo piece signed by Greg Capullo.
That is so
print.
amazing.
So if you know, there's a Spawn on the Throne figure, so we're gonna do a spotlight featuring the print
for sure.
And
man. I'll tell you what, man, that sketch edition of Spawn on the Throne gets me, man. Every time I look at it, my heart beats a little fast, bro.
Shit, man.
I like the Spawn on the Throne, but that sketch edition, the black and white, you know, another level, bro. I just love the way it looks, man.
Here's the thing about that. There are 3 different signatures. There's a red, a blue, and an orange. and the unsigned. So that's 4.
I have the unsigned.
So there's 4 versions.
That's crazy.
I have all those 4 versions, so we're gonna have a nice spotlight featuring the different colors of signatures that Todd did for that.
So, you know, I do think we're pretty even when it comes to spending, bro, because dude, you're buying 4 the exact same figure just to have a different signature. I think that's crazy, bro. That's awesome.
It is. We're both in the same boat.
We're both dude, if our wives ever meet, bro, that might be the end of it, man.
They're like, forget these guys.
You know, the other day, dude, I had my daughter go get the mail and come through the garage and then drop it off in my office before she took the mail to the wife, dude.
She knows.
Yeah.
Same, man. Same story. We're on the same boat.
Same boat, bro. Same boat, man. Well, Ty, man, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming on, man. I always enjoy talking to you.
Oh, same here, Tommy.
Yeah.
Same here. Anytime. If I'm not traveling, or if I'm traveling, you know, we can do it from a hotel. But
I love your background, bro. It's hard to do it from a hotel when I know what your room looks like, bro.
All right, dude. And I got so many video games now. Like I'm on a video game craze. I got the Chromium cover. I got the Dreamcast.
And they're all sealed still?
This one's sealed. This one's Dreamcast. Japanese sealed. One? Yep.
Damn.
Sealed Japanese PlayStation 1.
That's crazy, man.
Sealed PlayStation 1 American. It still has the hook that hangs on the thing. Sealed Japanese PlayStation 1.
So good, dude.
So I'm on a video game craze right now.
Yeah.
I found this. I don't know if you remember. They still do GameStop. But they have like those mock-ups of the cases.
Oh yeah.
Of cardboard, so they look a little bigger than the game.
Yeah.
But just to like give you like an idea, so you can pick up the box.
So you found it.
So this is the empty box that you kind of display at GameStop for.
How do you even find something like that, dude?
That's just crazy. I don't know, man. It's just this was actually I got from a friend in Mexico.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
that's still insane, dude. That's still crazy.
It's all here, man. It's all here. There's so much stuff that I need to even archive.
Yeah. Do you have a system where you do archive everything? That way you know exactly what you have, so you don't buy something the second time on accident.
I do for the most part. I have pretty much good idea of what I have and don't have. And sometimes I just pick it up so I know that a friend of mine would have it. Okay. But it's always hunting the good deal. The SpawnHunter brand is not just because I can just go to eBay and buy. But I'm not. But I'm not rich by any stretch of the imagination. I'm hunting for the better deal. Okay, you probably seen these.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what these are?
That is the old school compendium, right?
This was the employee gifts. These were given to employees.
I've seen one of those before though, and I don't know where I saw it. So those were
Yes.
gifts to employees?
These were employee gifts. These are super rare.
Well, nothing surprises me, bro, because you have one of Todd's awards.
But the story about this is like, I got this for like $19. That's $19. Okay, these are $100 books. But that's what I'm saying. It's like,
yeah,
hunting is not just hunting for like any item because it's out there and I can buy it. No, it's because you're hunting for the good deal. And to buy one of these for that price is ridiculous.
That's crazy.
This is an employee gift. This were the comics put together into one hardbound book.
That's awesome, man.
But it's hunting the good deal. But it's connecting with people. It's making friends in the community, and they'll be able to find the stuff at a good deal. Definitely.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy, bro. You're amazing, Ty. You're amazing, bro. You are the SpawnHunter, man. That's for sure, bro.
Thank you. I try. I get my moments.
Well, Ty, man, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you, bro, man. Thank you so much, man. And man, I hope we could do this again, man.
Always. Anytime, Tommy. Always pleasure talking, geeking out with you as always. And this is now the last one. I'm sure we're gonna have plenty more.
100%, bro. 100%. 100%, man. There's gonna be all kinds of cool news. But even if it's not Spawn related, man, I still like to have a conversation with you, bro.
Of course. Always good.
All right, man. I wish you the very best, Ty.
Thank you, sir. You have a good night.
Yeah, you too, bro. Thanks.